Dear Cancer, a profound shift just occurred in the unseen realms, and your name, Cancer, was spoken in a prayer so deep it resonated through the very layers of the soul. This isn't mere chance. Someone intimately connected to your lineage, or to a cherished memory, sent a pure-hearted prayer skyward. That prayer caused the universe to pause in reverence and unlocked a sacred gateway. The cosmos listened, but what you don't realize is that prayer wasn't solely for you. It rekindled a destiny you had long since forgotten. And you, Cancer, are at the epicenter of a transformation that is rapidly approaching. There are evenings when the world outside appears tranquil, yet within, an unseen force stirs powerfully. Last night was one of those nights. I found myself unable to sleep. A potent energy compelled me to light candles, lay out the cards, and sit in profound stillness, not from curiosity, but because I knew something was calling your name. Not gently, but with a soul echo loud enough to make time itself stand still. Someone bound to your bloodline, or a deep memory whispered your name in a prayer. It poured directly from the heart. You understand that when a prayer is uttered with pure love, the universe holds its breath to listen. I believe you felt this, not through logic, but through that heaviness in your chest, the sudden acceleration of your heartbeat, or a sharp, lingering ache during moments of quiet. That's not anxiety. It's a herald of something sacred drawing near, something you've awaited for so long, but no longer dared to name. I've always held that every soul reaches a point of awakening from its familiar dream. For you, that moment is imminent. You are on the brink of receiving a message or a call from someone that won't just alter your schedule, but will forge an entirely new path. And the beautiful truth is, there's no need to fear it, for this is the just reward life has owed you for a very long time. I know these are not mere comforting words. This is absolute confirmation. The universe never forgets your contributions, the countless times you forgave without an apology, the moments you supported others even as you yourself were falling apart, the times you smiled through tear-filled eyes. You've dedicated so many years to living for others, and now it's time for life to begin living for you. I'm not suggesting it will be effortless, but there's a crucial insight you need. Someone in your orbit isn't as genuine as you've been led to believe. I share this not to incite anger or hatred, but to liberate you. There's someone you consider a friend, a safe haven, but they carry an energy that is no longer pure. Not because they are inherently malicious, but because your light disturbs something within them. It's because you continue to advance while they remain stagnant. Your presence acts as a mirror, and in that mirror, they confront all the limitations they haven't yet conquered. The crucial question is, are you prepared to forgive without ignoring the truth, or will you choose to love them? But from a respectful distance, a space where you can remain authentically yourself without feeling the need to diminish your shine. I once believed that maintaining a relationship was a shared responsibility. But as I mature, I increasingly realize that honesty with oneself far outweighs the silence kept to preserve a connection. You possess the right to choose peace for your soul. You have the right to no longer tolerate false intimacy. And you are entitled to be loved with the authentic light you truly deserve. Your heart might be tightening as you hear these words, but let it speak. Don't silence it any longer, because your heart instinctively knows the way. And if by now you sense a deep resonance, please let me know by writing down one thing you are ready to release to feel lighter. When you write, you are unlocking your own energy, Cancer. This is merely the genesis. There's still so much more I wish to impart, but take a deep breath and allow the next phase to unfold in divine timing, because the most profound truths are never rushed. The universe awaits your acknowledgement, and when you are truly prepared, the miracle won't need to announce its arrival. It will walk right in. If what you're experiencing now is a surge of courage, the capacity for self-forgiveness and forgiveness for others, then write in the comments, I, Cancer, choose to return to my heart and release what no longer uplifts my soul. And if these words genuinely touched a deep chord within you, leave a like as a symbol of awakening. Share this with someone you care about, and subscribe so you never miss the messages the universe is sending. specifically for your soul. Have you ever felt truly and completely understood by someone? If so, I hope to hear that from you, Cancer. There are individuals who enter your life with a gentle smile and a warm embrace, yet they harbor an energy that wounds you, an energy you can't even name. The universe is whispering clearly to you right now. It's time to confront the truth and bravely sever a cord that has been constricting your soul. If someone close to you has recently made you feel uneasy in ways you can't articulate, grant yourself permission to step back and observe. Sometimes discomfort isn't random. It might be your intuition speaking. Trust that signal. They might not intend harm, but the energy between you has undeniably shifted. Paying attention to how you genuinely feel inside is an act of self-love, and that is paramount right now. And if you've ever been affected by that kind of energy, write in the comments, "I choose to free myself from toxic ties and activate sacred protection for my soul." When you declare that aloud, you are establishing a spiritual shield for yourself. And there's one more thing I must reveal, something no one dares to articulate, but your soul has known for a long time. It concerns love, and it may well leave you speechless. When it comes to matters of the heart, yours seems to carry a quiet tempest. There's someone you can't stop thinking about. They are distant, seemingly gone, as if they've forgotten you, but the truth is, they still reflect on you during the stillest nights. In the silence, their mind drifts back to you. They ponder, do I still hold a place in their heart? They might scroll past one of your social media posts, glance at an old photograph, and suddenly be engulfed by a wave of nameless yearning. Because an invisible bond exists between you, one that even time cannot break. But then, another face emerges, someone from the past. That individual once inflicted wounds on your journey, and they still haven't truly let you go. They've been seeking answers, turning to those who can perceive beyond the surface, because they sense that you've genuinely moved forward, that you've closed the door of your once wide-open heart. And they are correct. You've changed. You are no longer the vulnerable, easily manipulated version of yourself. You are evolving, and that transformation is palpable, even to those who are no longer permitted into your life. But the narrative doesn't conclude there. There's another shadow, a third individual, a feminine energy, someone who stood behind the separation, who manipulated, who lied, who even employed dark, negative tactics to impede your path of growth. You may not have realized it, but these forces are real. I share this not to instill fear, but to remind you, no one can diminish your light unless you permit it. No power, however dark, can conquer a soul that understands its own essence. You are being protected by sacred forces, forces the physical eye cannot discern, but which are always present around you. This individual sought to stifle the flow of abundance within you, attempted to delay your progress, but she failed. And everything that was sent forth from a place of envy is now rebounding to her, because the law of the universe is unerring. Everything originating from ego will become a burden, and you, with your sincere heart, will always be elevated. Now, I urge you to listen intently to this. What's coming may be a pivotal turning point. Open your heart to receive it, just as the sun never denies the dawn. Have you ever felt as though someone was deliberately pushing you away from the path you were destined to walk? Tell me, and if you feel this message is intended for you, do not hesitate to share this video, because when you spread light, you too will be illuminated. Dear Cancer, there has been a door in your financial and career sphere that has remained blocked for a long time, not because you were unworthy, but because the jealous and fearful energies of others have attempted to suppress your natural growth. You've tried endlessly, you've given your utmost, you've lived with kindness, and yet it felt as though your efforts never yielded commensurate results. That's not arbitrary, but I want you to know, those invisible chains are beginning to dissolve. The truth is, light cannot be perpetually concealed, and your light, gentle, humble, yet profoundly powerful, is starting to radiate from within. When you decide to believe in your own worth, the universe will respond. This very week, if you act with faith and determination, You may encounter an opportunity you never imagined. A door that once seemed sealed may suddenly open to you, a message from the heavens declaring, "The time has come, this is your moment." I sense a profound shift. It could manifest as a change in your living situation, your profession, or simply a renewal in how you perceive yourself and the world. Whatever its form, this is more than just a journey. It's a movement of the soul, because what awaits you requires a pure space to flourish. Perhaps you need to detach from a certain energy or environment. Perhaps you need to release specific individuals or habits that no longer allow you to feel authentic. I believe the soul instinctively knows when it's time for metamorphosis. It begins to feel stifled in places that once felt like home. It starts to feel isolated in relationships that once offered security. That's not an indication of failure, it's a signal of maturity. Do you feel a need for a fresh breath of air, a sense of living authentically, breathing deeply, being truly yourself without the burden of judgment or expectations? If so, that's your soul speaking, reclaiming its freedom. Pause for a moment, close your eyes, and ask yourself, what am I ready to release to welcome something superior? Who makes me feel compelled to shrink myself? What relationship is draining me instead of nurturing me? There's no incorrect answer, but being honest with yourself, even if it's painful, is always the initial step toward freedom. Perhaps you've told the world you've forgotten someone, that you've moved on, but if an echo still reverberates in your heart, a lingering memory, an unanswered question, then you haven't truly closed that door. And you know what? That's acceptable. You're not weak. You're simply learning to let go gently, not through denial, but by understanding that some wounds require time to heal, not to be re-inflicted, but to teach you how to cherish yourself more profoundly. Today's reading also reveals a feminine energy, influencing your romantic connection. This isn't someone overtly hostile. It's someone very close, someone who subtly sways the person you love. This individual plants seeds of fear and doubt, obscuring the light between you both. And you've sensed it, the sudden, inexplicable coldness, the distance without clear reason. But I have encouraging news. Truth always prevails. And that person, the one who was once such a vital part of your world, is beginning to awaken. They're starting to perceive the contrast between the peace they felt with you and the turmoil they now carry. And they will come seeking you, perhaps through an awkward message, a subtle sign, but behind it lies a heart still yearning to return. However, you are the chosen one. Not everyone who returns deserves to stay. Remember that. The time you invested in yourself during the separation was not wasted. It was sacred, a sanctuary for healing, for growing stronger, for learning to love yourself before loving anyone else. You've endured many losses, but you never lost faith in love. That's extraordinary, and I firmly believe that only hearts that have been truly broken possess the capacity to love deeply again. This time, in the right way. If these words resonate as if they were written specifically for you, write in the comments, I, Cancer, no longer cling to what depletes my soul. I choose freedom. And if you believe you are moving closer to the stronger, freer version of yourself, then like, share this video, and subscribe not for my sake, but to declare to the universe that you are ready. And there's still so much more I want to tell you, but I will wait until your soul whispers, I'm ready to hear more. Beloved Cancer, some reunions don't happen to repeat the past, but to allow you to stand in the present, strong, clear, and overflowing with self-love, to choose again, but from an entirely new vantage point. No longer needing external validation to feel worthy, no longer needing someone to tell you that you matter, to believe in your own value, because now you've realized the strongest, deepest recognition is the one that originates from within. And that, dear Cancer, is your greatest victory, not someone's return, not the restoration of a relationship, but your return to yourself. I also sense a new energy approaching you, someone who possesses a gentle, respectful, and sincere presence. Not arriving to fill a void, but to walk alongside you. Someone who does not control, does not doubt, does not demand you change, but loves you exactly as you are. And the miracle is, you are ready for that kind of love. Finally, after so many arduous paths, you are opening a chapter of love that no longer wounds you, a love that doesn't make you shrink or withdraw, but a love that expands your inner space, a love that uplifts and honors you. But you must take one more crucial step. Let go. Let go of beautiful memories that no longer sustain you. Let go of relationships that were once intimate, but have grown cold. Let go of spaces that are now too confining for a soul ready to expand. I know letting go is never easy, but every time you choose to release, you are choosing yourself. You were not born to live a half-life. You did not come here merely to survive. You came to blossom, to shine, to leave a mark of kindness and authenticity. And if you're still reading this, I believe a new journey is unfolding right beneath your feet, not an empty promise, but a soul-level affirmation. You've traversed enough darkness. Now, it's time to step into the light. And if at any moment your heart races, if a wave of emotion swells in your chest, that is the whisper from the other side. You no longer need to be afraid. Something beautiful is approaching, and this time, it will endure. Are you ready to receive it? If your heart is affirming this, then write in the comments, I, Cancer, choose to open my heart instead of shrinking myself to fit anyone. And if a part of you was just touched, don't depart just yet, because what follows will help you comprehend why. The universe selected this precise moment to send you this message. If you genuinely feel strong enough, healed enough, grateful enough to step into a new chapter, then like, share, and subscribe to send a signal to the universe one more time that declares, I am ready to live in alignment with my true worth. Cancer, if you are still here, listening to these words with an open heart, then I know you are ready to receive the next gift the universe holds for you. It's not for everyone. It's for the brave souls, those who have journeyed through the night and never lost faith in the light. And you, kind soul, are one of them. I've witnessed the moments you silently crumbled, when no one knew the immense effort you were exerting, when you swallowed your tears, suppressed your sobs, and still smiled so others wouldn't worry. When you became a pillar of support for others, even when you had no one to lean on yourself. I've seen it all. The universe has seen it all. Every time you whispered, I can't endure this anymore, an invisible hand rested upon your heart, urging, hold on just a little longer. The light is coming. And now, you are not merely approaching the light. You are the light. Do not forget, this is only the initial chapter. There is still so much more awaiting you. And if you're ready to continue walking, I'll remain here, whispering with you through every unfolding page of this journey. Beloved Cancer, a miracle is unfurling within you, a quiet yet powerful rebirth. Every action you've undertaken from the heart, every kind word you've spoken, even when unnoticed, is now beginning to blossom. This isn't a reward from an external source, but the inevitable fruit of the seeds you've sown, with your faith, your kindness, and your resilience. Not solely external success or wealth, but a return to yourself, the peace you once believed lost, the inner voice that is finally being heard, the light seeping through the old fissures. And that, dear Cancer, is a reward beyond compare. But I also perceive an energy surrounding you, not one of jealousy or hatred, but a form of control disguised as love. Someone very close, perhaps even family, who doesn't know how to love unconditionally, and so they unconsciously impose expectations, limitations, and bonds upon you that suffocate your spirit. They love you, but in a way that demands you forget who you are. They may have influenced significant decisions in your life. You may have chosen silence, compliance, sacrifice, simply to avoid disappointing them. But each time you did, you abandoned yourself. You've shelved dreams, postponed true desires, but now is the time to ask yourself, how many times have I forsaken myself to please others? Close your eyes, Cancer. Listen to your inner voice. Do not fear anger. Do not fear tears, because that is your soul awakening, and nothing is more sacred than that moment. When you begin to confront the truth, you begin to be reborn. The card reveals you are standing before a grand threshold, one that, if crossed, will free you from old beliefs, old fears, and relationships that no longer serve your growth. But you must be the one to choose. Freedom doesn't arrive when someone opens the door, but when you possess the courage to walk out. And I discern something you may not yet be ready to believe. An opportunity you thought was lost has merely been awaiting the opportune moment to return. A delayed offer, a postponed project, a door you believed was shut, is now gently opening, not to pull you back into the past, but to allow you to choose again, this time with awakened eyes and a heart that no longer needs to prove anything. Emotionally, I see a soul approaching you, not to rescue you or complete you, but to walk beside you. Someone who doesn't make you feel like you have to strive for love, but helps you realize that true love is the space where you can simply be yourself. You may have crossed paths with this person before, or they are currently on their way, but when you meet, you will know not with your mind, but through a strange stillness in your heart, a feeling you've never experienced with anyone else, a feeling that defies naming but makes you feel like you're finally coming home. And if you're still waiting for everything to be perfect before you begin, then remember, life doesn't wait until you're ready, it waits until you're brave. Every opportunity requires a yes. Every miracle begins with one small action, and you don't need to comprehend the entire path. Just have enough faith to take the first step. I want to hear from you. Which part of this touched you the most? Have you ever felt like you're slowly but surely returning to yourself? You don't have to disappoint anyone to be true to yourself. You just have to be honest enough to look in the mirror and smile, declaring, "Finally, I've come back to me." Cancer, you've come so far, but the miracle is, the most beautiful things are still ahead. And if your heart is beating differently, if something is urging you not to leave this video, then believe what comes next is not a coincidence. It's the answer you've been waiting for. Beloved Cancer, I know there are apologies we await that never materialize, and it's painful to confront the truth that they may never come. But from that very place, you begin to grasp something profoundly important. Forgiveness is not a gift someone else bestows upon you. Forgiveness is the gift you give yourself. It is the moment you cease waiting for someone to mend the fissure and begin to rebuild your heart independently. I sense a very special energy within your bloodline. A woman, perhaps a grandmother, a mother, or a female ancestor you've never met, is present in a powerful way. She is not merely a memory, she is the ancient strength that upholds you every time you think you can't endure. Every gasp when you gaze at the sky, every time you feel something stirring that you can't explain, is her communicating to you. You are not alone. You never were. And I see it with utmost clarity. This month, a new portal is opening. The answers you've long sought are finally arriving. The hidden truths will be unveiled. And the brightest light is the one radiating from within you. Something you once set aside, a project, a dream, an idea, is preparing to return, not to test you, but to reoffer the opportunity you've deserved for a long time. This time, you're no longer walking like someone afraid. You possess experience, you possess intuition, you possess a flame in your heart that has been tempered through pain. Even if someone from the past returns with familiar promises, you won't be as uncertain as before. You will clearly discern what elevates you and what weighs you down, and this time, you will choose yourself. I also perceive a relationship that once profoundly wounded you. Perhaps it was someone close, someone you once trusted implicitly. They didn't believe you could progress without them, but you did quietly, powerfully, and with immense strength. They now see that you've changed, and that change unsettles them. They may return, they may attempt to reconnect, but now you have the right to ask, does this connection still align with the person I've become? And in another corner of your heart, I see a new energy approaching, pure, gentle, not controlling, not concealing. This person isn't here to fill a void. They're here to co-create a new chapter with you, not from scarcity, but from the fullness of your soul. You will not recognize this person through loud declarations, but through the peace they bring, through a gaze that allows you to be yourself, without effort, without needing to prove anything. And you will understand why the ones before didn't stay. Because you had to become this version of yourself in order to receive that love without inadvertently destroying it. But for love and miracles to enter, you must release the old, let go of fear, let go of shame, let go of the need to comprehend everything before taking action. Only when you relinquish the old key can the new door open. Right now, if you feel something stirring in your heart, if your throat tightens inexplicably, it is not random. It is your soul affirming the truth. And I invite you, with one simple act, to write in the comments, "I, Cancer, am ready to cross the threshold of my life with confidence and compassion for myself." Let me know that you are present, that you are feeling, and that you are ready, because you are not just reading a message. You are touching an entirely new chapter of yourself. And I, from the very depths of my soul, am here to celebrate you, because what awaits you beyond the next door is something that could fundamentally alter your life's trajectory forever. Can you feel that vibration, dear Cancer? There are moments in life when the soul feels too weary to endure the same repeated patterns, the times you remained silent, simply to avoid conflict, the times you diminished yourself to be accepted. But then, one day, that very soul begins to speak. You begin to speak. And when that happens, the universe rearranges everything. When you dare to speak your truth, the chaos begins to make sense. Events that once seemed random are, in reality, destiny falling into place. And I want to share this with you, something that touches my heart deeply. Not everyone is bestowed with this gift. Only those who have been hurt and still choose to love, who still choose to trust, are truly prepared to receive this blessing. Cancer, the universe never forgets souls like yours. On the contrary, you are being protected, watched over, with special care. And very soon, something unexpected will appear. Not planned, not logical. It may be a proposal that transforms your entire life path, an emotional reunion, or simply a message, but it will awaken everything that has long been dormant. And when that happens, you will realize what is meant for you will never exhaust you. It won't pressure you. It won't plunge you into anxiety. It arrives naturally, gently, like water finally finding its course. Cancer, you are on a journey back to yourself. The coming phase is no longer about survival. It is about growth. Relationships will no longer be burdens, but spaces where you feel you belong. And remember this, when blessings begin to arrive, your mind might whisper, "Do I deserve this?" Don't let doubt obscure the light that is approaching. What's coming is yours, not because you are perfect, but because you've been true. You've loved fully. You've overcome loss with a heart free of bitterness. If you have ever trembled at the thought of saying no to the past, or hesitated to open your heart to something new, then hold on to these words. You've already conquered your greatest trials. You've released more than you ever thought possible, and that's why now you deserve to receive. The image I see clearly through waves of energy is you walking barefoot on a dirt path, sunlight gently gracing your shoulders. No crowds, no noise, just you and the peace you have discovered within. Ahead lies a new life, with different guidelines, different people, and dreams once considered unattainable now beginning to flourish. And if I could whisper in your ear, I would say, don't be afraid of happiness. Don't feel guilty for choosing yourself. Don't delay what you already know you deserve, because that is not selfishness. It is healing. It is not rebellion. It is maturity. You were not born to appease the world. You were born to paint your own vivid masterpiece. Before we conclude this conversation, I invite you to close your eyes, place your hand on your heart and say, even in silence, I release what no longer belongs to me. I receive what life has to offer. I open my heart to the love, abundance, and peace I deserve. I trust this journey. I am ready. And I, from the silence of prayers where incense intertwines with candlelight and the breath of ancestors, I bless you with everything I possess. I honor your journey. I am grateful for your trust, and I will continue to walk with you, like a grandmother who quietly waits at the doorway each night, waiting for you to return in your own light. Remember, beloved Cancer, the most beautiful thing has not yet arrived, but it is very, very close. And if you have felt that in your heart, tell me which moment in these words touched you the most. Thank you for listening with your whole heart. May you always have enough love to let go, enough peace to receive the good that is coming. Beloved Cancer, let us continue, for the energy that began this conversation has not receded. It has deepened, pulling us into the very heart of your magnificent transformation. You felt the truth in the words spoken, not as a prediction, but as a remembrance of a promise your soul made to itself long ago. The feeling that something beautiful is very, very close is the most profound truth of your current reality. It is the scent of rain on dry earth just before a storm of blessings is unleashed. Now, let's speak of what it means to stand at the doorway of that storm, to welcome the downpour you so richly deserve. For so long, your identity has been intertwined with your resilience. You became the person who could withstand anything, the one who could navigate the harshest emotional winters and still emerge with a gentle heart. But the universe is now asking you to learn a new identity, the one who thrives, not just survives. This shift can be disorienting. Part of you may feel an unfamiliar guilt in laying down the armor you've worn for so long. There might be a voice, an echo of the past, that whispers, "Is this real? When will the other shoe drop?" That voice is not your intuition. It is the ghost of old heartaches, the shadow of past betrayals, trying to convince you that safety only exists in waiting for pain. I am here to tell you, with all the certainty of 1,000 lifetimes, that you must turn your back on that ghost. Your new reality is not being built upon the fragile ground of hope, but on the solid foundation of what you have endured and healed. The peace that is approaching is not a fleeting truce. It is a lasting sovereignty. It is the result of every difficult choice you made in silence, every time you chose integrity over convenience, every tear you shed that washed away another layer of who you were not. Let's speak of the signs that will confirm this path. The universe is no longer just whispering. It is beginning to shout its support for you. You will notice synchronicities so blatant they make you laugh out loud. You'll think of a person from your past, and they will message you not to reclaim a space in your life, but to offer an apology you had long given up on, validating your healing. You will see repeating numbers 111, 222, 444 on clocks, license plates, and receipts, each a wink from your spiritual guides, affirming, "You are on the right path, keep going." Your dreams will become more vivid, offering not confusion, but clarity and guidance from that wise ancestral woman we spoke of. She will appear not just as a feeling, but perhaps as a symbol, a specific bird, a forgotten song on the radio, a familiar scent with no discernible source. These are not coincidences. They are love letters from the other side, meticulously arranged to catch your attention. Now, we must address the most crucial part of this new chapter, learning to receive. You are a master of giving, Cancer. You pour love, support, and energy into others as naturally as you breathe. But receiving? That feels vulnerable. It feels like incurring a debt. You must dismantle this belief. The blessings coming your way, the financial opportunity, the soul-aligned love, the creative inspiration, are not rewards for good behavior. They are the energetic consequence of your alignment. It is the universe simply matching the high vibration of love and worthiness you have finally begun to hold for yourself. When that new love interest appears, and they will feel different from anyone before. The connection will not be marked by a frantic, anxious passion that you mistake for chemistry. It will be marked by a profound sense of peace. In their presence, you will not feel the need to perform, to edit your thoughts, or to hide your scars. You will feel seen. This person will not be intimidated by your strength or unsettled by your light. They will be drawn to it. They will be someone who has walked their own path through the fire and recognizes the sacred glow of a soul that has done the same. This love will not seek to complete you, for they will see that you are already whole. Instead, it will seek to celebrate you, to build with you, to co-create a reality where both of you can expand into your highest selves. Similarly, the shift in your career and finances will not feel like a lucky break, it will feel like a homecoming. An opportunity will arise that doesn't just pay the bills, but nourishes your soul. It will align with your innate gifts, the very things you do so effortlessly that you may have never considered them valuable. For too long you've believed that work must be a struggle, that abundance must be hard-won. The universe is about to show you that your greatest abundance flows from your greatest joy. You must have the courage to say yes to this unconventional path, to trust that your purpose is also your provision. In these final moments together, for now, place your hand back on your heart. Feel its steady rhythm. That is the rhythm of your truth. The world can be loud, full of opinions, expectations, and judgments. But in the sanctuary of your own heart, there is only this steady, unwavering beat. That is your anchor. That is your guide. The journey ahead asks only one thing of you: to trust that rhythm above all else. When you feel confused, come back to it. When you feel afraid, come back to it. When you feel unworthy, come back to it. You have been reborn not in a blaze of glory, but in the quiet, sacred moments of choosing yourself again and again. You are the miracle you have been waiting for. Everything else that is now arriving is simply the universe rearranging itself to match the truth of who you have become. If you have walked this far with me, and you feel this truth resonating in the very marrow of your bones, I invite you to make one final declaration. Let it be your definitive step across the threshold. Write in the comments, "I, Cancer, am no longer preparing for the light. I am the light. I receive my joy, my peace, and my abundance, not as a visitor, but as my birthright." Walk forward, beloved soul. Your masterpiece awaits its artist, and the artist is, and always has been, you.